Hi everyone, this is the Psychic Sleuth, and I'm here today with Taylor Rose Williams reading. I actually did it last night, but I didn't have time to post it. So I'm going to go ahead and do it today. First off, please, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to get back my subscribers, trying to say, hey, you guys need to resubscribe. I really don't know what happened. Sorry. I really don't know what happened as far as other than I was hacked and my everything looks like the same. Like all my videos are still going on there. I just can't get to anything. And everything says 0. It's so strange. So please, if you have not subscribed, please do. Also, I have merchandise. I'm going to post a link here. There's also a link posted on my uh, channel. So if you're interested in merchandise, please let me know. There's also a link in the Psychic Sleuth group. If you're not part of the Psychic Sleuth group, please join, because in there, like, I post a lot of stuff before I even say it. Like, I always post the readings in there first. The readings are always there to go over. Validation is always posted, so please join if you haven't already. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get on to Taylor Rose Williams. So I did her reading on November 10th, 2019. And in case you guys don't know, I am going to submit a tip after this because I feel very strongly about the information. So at least about the area, and I guess the best they can do is check it, and if she's still there, because it's kind of going to be depending on a lot if she's still in the area. I'm thinking, okay, so I did a reading last night, November 10th, 2019. I have to say there's a lot of interconnect from Dulce's last reading, as well as some pulls and randoms. We did find after the reading that much of what she stated fit by where they used to live, where she lived now, and on the way to the mom's work. So I think I found a location with help of validation from EVP, which kind of freaked me out a bit, and I'll explain that later on in the reading. So remember, readings can be past, present, or future, as well as connections. Things can also be symbolic, and stuff will come through validating areas on the way or surrounding somewhere important, like house or work. Not all will fit Taylor in this reading, but I feel like most does. She's pretty direct and pretty good at describing. I now realize more of what I was seeing the more that I've thought about it and gone back through the reading and typed it up. I think the EVPs just validated it for me tonight. Remember, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. So I try not to know anything about case or cases that I work on. If I mention stuff that comes out in the news or has been mentioned, it is not because I watch the news or look things up prior to readings or anything like that. It is what Spirit tells me, and this is all from Spirit. I'm a very genuine person. I'm a very honest person. I don't need to cheat because I am gifted. So if it does come up, it's because it validates my connection and my work with them. I try not to know anything as to not lead me. That's why I don't like to work with other psychics either. But so if they're validations, people will show me validations or whatever, or they'll send me the case. So if I do see something, like, I'm shown it anyways, and I can't ignore it, so I'll say it. So I try not to taint any of my readings, and no EVPs from my group and my team members are shared with me prior. Sorry about that. So this is all Spirit. So the first name, Taylor Williams, in my pool of random list. So I got the name Taylor and also Williams in my pool of random list. You can find that in my group. Also, I have a list of, it's not completely updated, but I think these two names are on there in the validation video. So I believe I got it somewhere in August or September. Also, Rose came in for a while, but also the last Roses I seen in Dulce's reading and her 5th reading, I think fits her. I think she was popping in, like I said, they interconnect, being around the same age, or being the same age, I should say. And there's also a zoo nearby. So there's things that interconnect with all these little kids that I've been working on lately. So usually in Dulce's reading, I'll see someone cutting roses and pruning them, and this was different because I was just shown roses, so it's different. So I believe the number 13 fits here from Dulce, as well as Avondale and Riverside from my pools list back that I got back in August. You can find that in the group, like I say, or validation video. So Tiger may fit here as well, and pumpkins, because I see an area that's close by where I think she is that has both of those things. Those came up in Dulce's reading. Also, my list of pools is Maurice. I was pulled to that name in Dulce, and that happens, I guess, to be the dad's name. Someone validated that for me. I was pulled to that river, the name of that river, so that's where that came from. So first I have to say that this girl is a very sweet spirit. She's smart and just bright light. I really enjoyed her, although it's sad that she's on the other side. She is okay, and I hope that justice is brought because she never deserved this. I know one thing that kept coming back since I saw that she was missing and I wanted to work this case is that the landfill or trash or something, because I kept being shown Cupcake. Now I felt that I let Cupcake down because I kind of knew where she was and I didn't realize it. So I don't know. And like I said, that all that's posted in the group. I've talked about that in Dulce. So I've kind of been kicking myself in the butt ever since then. But I don't know if it's just similarities or the fact, but there was definite mention of trash here. So whether it's symbolic or trash, but where she is now or was where she was, I think, put in the water. But I know that there is a dump about 5 minutes from her mom's old house. When we were researching last night, we found that. So that was interesting. So the weird thing is that I kept seeing her held underwater. So I don't know if it's symbolic or if she's in water and that's what she was trying to show me, but it was something to do, or if it had something to do with her passing. But I also was short of breath and I couldn't breathe. I feel like a suffocation type of feeling. So I get a reference to her mom not being as she portrays herself to be. And I'm pretty sure I said everyone's innocent until proven guilty, but I'll just say it again because I don't ever like to point fingers, but I can't help it. So I get a reference to her not portraying herself as someone she's not really. And prior to clearing, I almost forgot to clear before this reading. I was getting information and I was hearing that her mom did this to her. Now, she says, and this was before, I remember I did this reading last night before anything came out about her mom, and I don't know anything about the cases. I saw all that today that kind of validated, and so I was like, I better get my video out before people start talking crap. So she says mommy's mean, and I don't think that many people saw her mom that way. I get a reference to her missing a couple of days prior to her being reported, and she also shows me like blocks build up and knocked down. So I don't know if that's some kind of symbolism. I do know she's around 5, but I get a reference to 5 anyways because she showed it to me. I think this is why her and Dulce are connected, as well as Angel. They're all the same age. As well as she's shown me a kind of big number 5. And the month of January connects to someone somehow. I get a reference to her mom losing her temper. And again, I don't know why I'm shown bathwater and a bath. And her showing me she's being pushed down under the water. My chest hurts, so I'm really not sure because prior to this, I also see crying. So I'm not sure if this was prior to a bath and her mom lost it, or it was just an instance, or it was like how she passed. But it was very strong, and it's what I kept seeing. So I get a reference to there was a late start. She was missing before she went missing. Like, she was missing before, like, the mom said she went missing. And I hear the word lies being told. Sorry, she's no longer on the earth plane. I knew that when I saw her, and my chest is hurting, and I get a reference to fluid in my lungs. So that could be part of her passing, or because she's in water now. But I also get a reference to she shows me bruises, so I feel like there's some kind of abuse. I'm also as I was typing this, I was getting that her mom was sort of strict, and in a sense maybe bipolar. She expected her kid to be kind of like a soldier, I guess, and she shows me some angel wings. Now, I don't know if this is symbolic for her being passed and that she's on the other side and she's okay. I saw this in Dulce. They are feathered wings, so it could be for I don't know why that does that. I have it on so people can't, you can't hear it. So I don't know why. It says it's on Do Not Disturb. Apologize. So anyways, they're feathered wings, so it could be for Angel Baker, but I'm wondering if that's symbolic for in heaven or Angel Baker or both. So, but these girls all around the same age, and there are some interconnects going on here as to why they keep coming in each other's readings. I get like used, or I don't know if I haven't done Angel's reading yet, so I can't say if she's passed or not, but I just keep getting information on her or her name. So that's why. So I get like she used to smile and laugh, and then I became afraid. I get a reference to drugs somewhere. I don't know if maybe she started doing them, or if that's just how she feels to me, like all over the place, like how someone would feel to me if they were doing that kind of stuff. How someone on drugs would be. I know she's military, but it feels like irate or something like that, like ups and downs, kind of bipolarish. Taylor's crying now. She doesn't understand, sort of feels like a heat of the moment kind of thing what happened, but I do wonder just how much her mom is like she a normal person or she partakes in other things, because I get a reference to voices in her head or mental illness sort of thing. But definitely the up and down kind of feels bipolarish a little bit. And the front of my throat was hurting. I don't know if maybe a few things led up to this, but she keeps also talking about her bed, but I'm not really sure, and something about a mattress. Now, after the reading, one of my team members was researching for me, because that's what we do after the reading, and she was trying to validate, and there was a story that sort of happened, I guess, something about a bed and people saying that they never saw her, and her mom saying she was in the bath. So that was validating to me, and I don't know if maybe she was just validating the story or not, but she shows me her sleeping and with some sort of stuffed animal. It looks like a bear. But I also saw this in Dulce, but I do know, like, I get a reference to that kind of like symbolic for a stuffed animal period. But she's also talking about a doll, I think, with blonde hair. I don't really know where that fits. I know dolls has come up before, but I don't know where this goes, but she's putting makeup on it. So I'm hearing that song Somewhere with the Rainbow, and I get a reference to things like used to be good and then something sort of happening, and her mom getting worse over the years with the way that she is. And as I'm typing this, I get a reference to being tired of being a mob, maybe the feeling, maybe that kind of feeling. And I get a reference to sudden change in her mom. I getting like either mental illness or drugs or something like that, that it's just this sudden change. I don't get that her story is true. I also don't get the feeling that this little girl wandered off. She shows me a doorknob in the lock position. I think maybe the mom unlocked it to make it look like something it wasn't. I don't know if I feel like there's a fabrication all around her case and lies and just a lot of inconsistencies, and I think the police are actually onto her. My chest was very tight at this time. I also get a reference to her head being hit, or she's showing me like her head hitting something, like the corner or something. So I also get something about a nightlight. So I don't know, maybe she had to have one when she slept. She's talking about this kind of a surprise to people. Here is something about, I don't know if it's preschool or kindergarten, probably kindergarten because she's 5, but I don't know if she missed some days or what, but I think I heard something about it. But she's showing me like school, and then she says something about a teacher knowing something, and about her being a teacher knowing something but not realizing it, like, and then her being absent. And then I hear, when trash is dumped or recycling, and you hear the glass and the things that make that noise. That's what I kept hearing, and I've heard that for like 2 days. So I've actually, it was kind of annoying me, and I was like, well, I have all this water stuff, but I'm hearing this. But I'm not sure if she was trying to say landfill or recycling. I know that both came in Dulce's 5th reading, but as we know, sometimes things can come through and it can be important, but not necessarily where they are. But I know her mom used to live 5 minutes away from a dump. That could be it, but I think it kind of means a couple things in this reading. So I get a reference to Cupcake's situation, which, unless she was just saying hi and that it was okay, because I questioned landfill with Cupcake, she could be talking about an area next to the water to where she went in, because for some reason I do feel water with her. I don't know, I'm having a bit of an issue. I'm trying to see where she is at this point when I was doing the reading, but I was getting a reference to her being wrapped in something and put in the back of a car. I'm taken somewhere, and there's a reference to 2 days before she was reported. So I feel like she was missing for a little bit before anything was even said to anybody. And then I get a word like hideaway, so that's come in before. It might be close to where she is, but I get a reference to water, and I was trying to see if she was in the water this time because there's definite mention of water, and I was trying to see if she was in it or near it because I get a reference to a trash bag of some type of bag also. But looking around the property, I didn't see like her near a home or like her in the yard or anything like that. But at the same time, she's not that far. She shows me a sun, so it could be symbolic, like for sunshine kind of state. I was not aware of where she went missing from, by the way. Like I said, I just saw her name and that she was missing. I have so many missing cases that I can't even keep up or keep track of where they're all missing from. So when I got that, what I did, when I got what I did later on, it kind of blew me away. But I also get a reference to beach, like an area or area that is like one. I don't know if she lived near one or driving distance, or it's to validate the state or area. But I also know Florida is kind of a sunny state, and that's what it was kind of reminding me of. So that's what she was trying to say or not. But she shows me different flowers. So there's these purple ones, kind of reminds me of lilacs. I don't know if that's what they are, but it kind of reminded me of that. I do see piles of sand, so I think maybe interconnect because I did see that in Dulce. I can hear seagulls, and I'm wondering if the water she's showing me was symbolic or if she was in water because I wasn't 100% yet. But after I went back over this, I think so because I kept kind of seeing her underwater in the bath situation. Because she kept showing me the underwater, but then I would hear bottles. So there's a reference to her shoes. So I don't know. I see white shoes, but there's, I think, a color on them. I get a reference to the color pink. I don't know if she liked it, but I also see the color green and blue. My chest was hurting where my heart is, and I know that there's a green that's really close to her old house too. It's called green something. So that could validate that as well. So my chest was hurting where my heart is a lot, and I was getting pain in my calf. And it's sad. I'm not trying to implicate anybody. Like I say, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. I do think the cops know what happened. They just can't prove it without her. And I don't feel she's like breaking down and saying anything. She's tough, and she knows they like don't have really anything without Taylor. So you know how the military people are anyways. That's how she feels to me. She's kind of not breaking. And so I was trying to make sure I was right. Like I didn't see an intruder. I don't see a male in connection to her disappearance. I didn't see her like walk out the door. What 5-year-old walks out the door in the middle of the night? I mean, there's especially maybe the nightlight was to say I'm scared of the dark. Why would I ever do that kind of thing? But I just felt a female, and the only one who was really around her. I get a reference to oysters and crabs, all underwater. It feels beachy area again, and I don't know if it's just to symbolize the area. You know those signs where, you see a sun and a seagull and a beach. That's what I was seeing, a sign like that. The letter H has been coming in for a long time, and I hear Jacksonville, so I'm not sure where she went missing from, but I feel that she's still there. I don't know. She's showing me a braided bracelet. Reminds me of kind of a friendship bracelet. I think if I'm looking at the map right, I want to go left from her house, kind of that way. I think it would be like left on the map if you're coming out of the house. I do see steam, so I think there may be some kind of factories nearby. This I got in Dulce, so I think it could fit both, but it definitely fits here. So someone that has a kind of factory nearby, or factories, like I said, industrial feel, which I did get industrial in Dulce. So I kept hearing that kind of sound like trash dumped, and then the sound breaking glass makes. And then when it's dumped out and the glass hitting together, I did get glass in Dulce, but this was like bottles hitting together. Now, I'm thinking this area where she was put in, I think it's the area where she was put in water at, honestly. So crap, I don't know. She showed me sharks circling. So I don't know if it's symbolic that she's saying she's in the water. I wonder how far from the beach, and if the beach is by the landfill or a place she would hear that sound, or maybe where she went in at. Because I was trying to decipher both things, because I hear one thing and then I'm feeling another and I'm seeing another. So I think she was just trying to maybe describe that it was an area she went in at, was by there, which makes sense as to where I think she is now. So Then I said I wondered how far they lived from a beachy area because, like I said, I don't look at a map or anything prior in this instance. So this reminds me a lot of Malia's reading, her third reading. And as you know, I get interconnects, and family was involved in that one. So they're the same age, same race. So I could see how it would interconnect. And I also get future things like up to a year or more prior. So I think a lot of her third reading is going to fit here. And I do think the island came in there. You guys can go back and read that one if you want to, or watch it or whatever. But I hear the word spillway, and at this time I was wondering if she was in the water because everything was pointing that way. I heard rickety, like rickety old wood, but I don't know if that's here or if that's Dulce. They said not everything in this reading is going to fit. Most of it does, though. But they seem to interconnect or come in each other's readings. So I don't know if it's a bridge or something. Not a lot of streets, but description. Also, show me a starfish that's underwater. So maybe that could be a place with names like this. Ocean is big in this. Beach is big in this. That feeling of it. I hear the word captain. I know it fits a lot of places. I hear the word barge. So I get kind of a swampy area too. So this is weird because I was shown a cupcake, and then I got shown her standing with her holding hands. So she's saying they're together. So I don't know if she's saying they're connected in some way, but also similarities when I talk about interconnecting, but also could be like a soul sister type of thing. Letting me know that she's okay. I keep beating myself up. So, but the trash can interconnect in some way, or recycling. So I get a reference to braids, and most of the time hair pulled back with braids. I don't know. It's weird. Like her mom comes off as such a good mom sometimes. And she wants, this is actually going to be a shock to me, in her, and I think everyone. So I get a reference to proclaiming innocence, and then there's a reference to Jay. So that might fit in Dulce if it doesn't fit here. I think she's showing me a high school or a school because she's showing me like prom or corsage, flowers girls wear on the wrist. I get the word halibut or something sounding like that in reference to alligators. So I know Florida kind of has this mascot, but close to where I think she is there, where I was, where we were looking at after the reading, I found Alligator Creek. So I get in her passing a reference not being able to breathe. She shows me a pillow for some reason, and I get that tight in my chest, kind of like a suffocation feeling. I can't take a deep breath, and I feel like a sense of panic as well. I hear the word hungry, so I'm not really sure if maybe her mom wasn't feeding her. I don't really know why that was being said, but I get a reference to equipment, and I see tractors and I hear them, so that could be Dulce. Could be some around the area because they do work at recycling and they do work at dumps. So I get the word barge again. I get a number 17, and I also get a reference to her mom being kind of young, so I don't know, the number 27 came in, and then 31, and then also 33. And then 5 came in again. And then I also got the letter P. I hear the words painstakingly brutal. I see a bright, shiny halo, like a glowing one. Hearing words victim of circumstance. I'm getting a sense of a man now, so I don't know if he connects. My nose is hurting. I don't know why. At the front of it, like I've been hit in the face. So I don't know if he connects, but or if she had a boyfriend, or this is just to mention her dad, but I don't think the dad's involved. I don't know, maybe she's showing him for that, or maybe there's a man like involved with the mom. I'm not sure. So I get a reference to braids braided back with this man. I'm not really sure who he is. I kind of wonder, like I said, if she was seeing anyone. I get the word Tyrone. Now that's come in before. I'm not really sure where it fits. It may be another case, maybe another spirit popping in. So I said, anything else you want to tell me, baby Taylor? And I heard, I'm sorry, Mama. Not sure why. Maybe because she's calling her out, or maybe because she feels it's her fault. And I said, it's not your fault, baby girl. You didn't deserve this. There's a reference to backpack. I'm not sure why. I hear her laughter. She's a really sweet kid. She's showing me a swordfish too. I see one. So at this point, there's all these underwater things, right, that you find in an ocean. So I really think at this point she was put in the water, and probably put in the water by, like I was hearing, a recycling place or whatever. So I hear that. Now my arm hurts. I don't know what's going on. So I hear the word Richland. I don't know if it fits here, another case. So now this weird thing happened. So I've been looking at the map, and I see a lot of things fit, like a lot. So like I said, things like from her old home, the dump is 5 minutes away from her house. 13 is by her old house. That came in Dulce. And then 17, and 17 is the road that goes the way I wanted to go, up by the zoo and the school. And there's the Holy Rosary Church, which we know that Rosary came in and Holy came in Dulce's. That's all by her house. So it's interconnecting. And I guess Dulce was mentioned by Taylor in an EVP that one of my team members did. So anyways, you would pass through Avondale and Riverside to reach her work. Those are both on my pool list back from August. And then the 17 goes up to where the zoo is. And I didn't even know there was even a road called that. So that was very interesting. So there's a dump up there that's labeled recycling, and it's a dump. I believe that's where she was put in at. So I'm looking at the map. I'm thinking, where is she? I'm shown like an island as I'm sitting here, and it's got trash on it. Kind of doesn't make sense, right? Because that's like way far away when I looked it up. There could be some trash on this island, though. It could be, or it could be symbolic that, hey, I was, put in this area, and this is where I'm at now. So, maybe she was kind of thrown in. Maybe she felt like she was like thrown away like trash. I'm not sure really the significance of it, but I do feel like there's an area that has a recycling dump where she could have been put in at. So anyways, and then went to this island. So I'm thinking back to Malia, and a lot of this reminded me of her reading like her third one. Like I said, you can go watch and see what I'm saying. So anyway, I look up this one island. There's an alligator creek. There's a hideaway, something close by. I think it's a golf course. There's a tiger and pumpkin if you go up on the map, not too far, which those came in Dulce's. And then it's off 17. So I'm looking at this quarantine island, and I'm like, I kind of go away from, like, how would she get on an island, thinking, I'm not thinking like, she floated there or whatever. But so I kind of go up to Pumpkin, and I'm like, quarantine, that was an interesting island, but how did she get on there? All of a sudden, my EVP says quarantine. Mind you, I haven't typed anything that said quarantine or anything like that. I basically just kind of like said it out loud. And my EVP said quarantine, and I was like, holy crap. So I go back, and I'm like, how did you get there? And she said island. And then she said float. So I about fell off the couch. And then she said dead, which was sad. And in the beginning, the very first thing she said was killed. So I truly think that maybe she was put in the water by like Rilco Dump Recycling by the zoo. That would be an interconnect, because as we know, like Andrea and Dulce all have zoo in them. Her house is really not far from the zoo. And I guess that would be considered like a spillway or like one, because rivers go into like bigger water. And then she floated to this island. So this EVP was way too straightforward. And going back over this, she mentioned all these underwater creatures, with all the fish. She had a swordfish, she had a halibut, she had I don't know, starfish, she had sharks. She's just mentioning all these underwater things, right? Which is coming from a 5-year-old, that would make sense. And there is a little beach on this island underneath the bridge. There's like there's sand and stuff, like a little beach. So my nose is hurting. I don't know if someone got punched in the nose or what, but so I hope that justice is served. This is a disgrace to our men and women in uniform. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. And I know a lot of you guys are feeling it. So that's kind of what I got for her. Very interesting reading. She's a very sweet girl. She came in through very strongly, and if I need to do any more, I will. I'm going to send a tip. I hope that they check it out. I hope it's accurate, but I just think the EVP validated it, and it was just way too straightforward. So hopefully she's still there. And she's washed up. And I heard that they do have bottles on that island that people throw. So maybe she's next to some bottles or something, and that's why I keep hearing that. So please join the Psychic Sleuth group. Please like, please subscribe. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time.